Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I'm back. It's Sunday. We're doing live mediumship and psychic readings. I hope everybody's well. It's October 17th. I'm back in my purple sweater. It's still October, so I'll be wearing this every day of October to remind you that as you manifest and as you're changing your own belief systems, you have to persist through the. I have more people to add to the list. You have to persist. Anytime you're creating a new belief system and you are manifesting something, you have to just maintain that. And so this is to remind you of that because back on October 1st, the trolls made fun of it. And I thought, screw you. Here's my ugly sweater. You get to see it every day. That means I don't take no for an answer. Hi, Lauren. I have a manifesting journal. It's actually what I'm creating to sell as a product because I'm practical and that's what I'm gonna have a manifesting little seminar to welcome people in and teach them how I actively manifest every day and what I do to make it practical and create a process with it and keep it all in one place. So I do. Please add to the list. Let's see, you got Regine, Stephanie, and then Kay with 3. So I'm really excited. I was actually just showing my cousin it, and it's taken a few versions of it. I think I finally have a version of it that I like. So I'm hand making them all. I've created it all by myself, doing all the printing and all the everything of it. So uh, yeah, so it's taken me a little while. I know that sounds crazy, but I wanted to put my love and attention into it. And I have all of this crafting stuff, like it's insane, that I've just collected over the years. So like the Cricut machine and all of that stuff. So I've created it, and then if I sell enough of them, then I will, you know, send it out to somebody else to do it. But right now I'm doing them on my own. So I have my first version. I just have to punch it and laminate and all of that. It's yeah, so I'm all excited. And it's actually really good quality. I've researched paperweight and everything else. So because I want it to be, because I'm super picky about the paper that I journal on. I've always had a weird thing with stationery and like loved places like Staples and Office Depot. It's weird. So yeah. Um, you have lots of questions? Oh, there are so lots of questions. Well, stay. Maybe you'll make it in time or come back. Hi, Rocked On. Okay, so tomorrow, remember that on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I have manifesting chats. It's something that I believe goes hand in hand with your own intuition. That's why I still do these readings here. That's why I teach my psychic development circles. I have a new circle starting November 2nd that is up for purchase. It is a limit of 10 people. And it's a 6-week cycle. I meet once a week, Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Sorry it's so late, but I have to put kids to bed. So that's that. And then it gives me like I can devote my full attention to y'all. But it's I get really lots and lots of wonderful feedback on it. People are really growing and developing, and it's for beginners all the way through experienced. And I just help you develop your own language and teach you to develop your own language and give you encouragement and feedback and all of that good stuff. I also am offering a new style of reading where I'll do psychic for the first half of the reading, and then help you with your with mentoring you on your own manifesting and creating your own affirmations and all of that stuff, and helping you find your own blocks that sometimes I see before you do. So, shall we get started? Happy October! Welcome, welcome. Okie dokie. And then I'll have the I gotta figure out. I think the manifesting. I'll do the manifesting. The first. I have to find a name for it, but I'll do that in November. So I'll put that up soon. I know. Why don't I have a name for it yet? Maybe I'm surprising you. Okie dokie artichokes. Ashley, are you here? Are you here? There you are. So Ashley had a question about her, and you have 2 written down, but I kind of responded to the first one. Do you have a second one since I already responded to the first one, but I put you for 2 because I did kind of want to talk about I don't know if you want to put your, oh, getting called now because that's what happens when I go live now. And I don't want to, I will just wait. Someone's probably going to come down here and interrupt. It's my 4-year-old, but I don't want to wait and be like, what? Um, this is what happens. It's okay. So do you have a question, Ashley? Um, I will tell you the email response that I read today. I would really encourage you. I don't have it set up as doing manifesting coaching just yet, but there's so much there. So I would really encourage you to watch my lives during the week about manifesting and about self concept because I think I'm going to kind of address some of that stuff that I saw because your whole letter, we tend to, when we're not ready, we tend to see when we're in relationship issues as being outside of us and being, oh, that other person is behaving this way. And how do I fix this? And this makes no sense. And why do they view me this way? And we kind of go into victimization mode. And the truth is that um, they're reflecting our own inner stuff. Yeah. Do you have it? I mean, because I kind of answered that in the email. And so I don't know if you want to ask something different for today because you paid twice, so you have 2 questions, so oh my god, did you hear that? Hold on. April. Monkey. April, buddy. I'm doing my live. Can you stop screaming at the TV? I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pause these, and usually my husband is home with us, and so he's not. Sorry. Okay, thanks for your patience. And with that question, you were wanting to know what was going to happen in the situation of things we were still. Yes. So what I explained to you is that is a part of the bridge of incidents. So yes, I do think that it's going to change. I do think things are going to shift. I don't think it's going to stay in that area. Um, I didn't see a question that you sent for today. So whatever you wanted for that, that's fine. So Ashley in the past had asked about the gentleman that she's dating. And I said I saw them end up being together, but that he was getting cold feet. And he came back and he said he didn't want a relationship, but I think that's part of the bridge of incidents. And as I was reading all of that, I was like, you just need to shift your own self-concept because he's coming back. Like, and I know that because if I saw you being together, that all that is about your own self-concept needing to flip. And that's why I was saying you have to watch these lives, or maybe even we can figure out a coaching kind of thing to help you with that. But I would highly recommend listening to affirmations and start writing affirmations of I am powerful, I am valuable, I am lovable, I am worthy, I am wanted, I love myself. There was some body image stuff, I think, and I don't want to go into too many detail, but like, and I'll email you those specifically just to preserve some, so you don't feel exposed. Even though nobody really probably knows who you are, I still feel like energetically it's a very vulnerable place. And so I want to try and respect that, but I'll email you those specifically. But yeah, as I read what you wrote, I was like, oh, this is all like, I could see how this was all self stuff manifesting. And I said to you the last time that I felt that this was all about your own self worth and self concept stuff. So, what is your question for today? Oh, okay. You want to know if you have a messages from my dad, George. Okay. The first thing I saw was a very bright smile and, like, this very infectious laugh I could hear, like, and it was like it started kinda low and then it ended really high. Like, it was like a oh, I don't even wanna, like but it ends, like, really high, and it's this really, like, full body laugh. Um, did he like, either he was bald or he shaved whatever might have been there because 'cause I'm not seeing, like, I'm he keeps showing me, like, a shiny head. And he's telling me larger than life because I'm asking about his physical attributes, and it's like, I'm not getting a clear, like I feel like he was taller, but you told me your height, so, like and I'm looking in comparison to you, and I'm like, "Well, you weren't that tall, so he's gonna feel a lot taller than you." He's showing me, like I'm telling you, he's showing me bald, so I don't know what this means. I don't know why, but it's like I'm seeing shine on the top of his head. Would he have shaved his hair towards the end of life for some reason? And did he have this, like, really big infectious laugh? And it's like, "Huh, huh, huh, huh," like, it goes, like, really high. Oh, that could be it. Would he tease you about having bald hair? Or him shaving his head? Is there a joke about being bald? I'm sticking to that because that's what I'm getting, and there's a reason for it, and so I don't understand what that is, but and I'm not leaning towards a because I feel like if he would have shown me fixing hair. Would he ever say something about, like, shaving your this is, like that's, like, so far-fetched, though. I was gonna say shaving your head bald because it was taking too long to fix hair or it was so much work or something, but I don't know, but it just feels like he's showing me his bald head, and he's showing me, like, I feel like he wouldn't have been overweight, but, like, had a little more weight, like, had a thick neck. I'm not saying he's thin, but it's like I just meant, like, not, oh, morbidly obese, but I felt, was he he was diabetic. Sorry, there's just, like, a weird, did he He's just my awareness is coming to my ears now where it's like I almost feel like I have ringing in my ears, and then, I'm hearing this, like I don't know if he was rushed in an ambulance at the end of his death, so he wouldn't have been in the hospital, and he wouldn't necessarily been in it's like something like it's like because I just hear, like, the sound of the way an ambulance goes, "Doo doo doo doo," but it feels like almost distant, so maybe he was in a coma, like a diabetic coma, or slipped into whatever, wasn't conscious, so it feels like everything's sort of way far outside of my head. Did that happen at the end of his life? So maybe I wasn't at home, but I was not in a hospital setting. Maybe I was at work or outside of it, but it was like it feels like something happened and then but it doesn't feel like I was sick for a long time in the hospital. Did they take him from a nursing home to the hospital at the end? Because it feels like I'm not really fully there and the sound is way like if you're taking an ambulance ride and you're inside the ambulance and the sirens are going, it's loud. But it feels like they're distant to me. This is gonna sound weird, but I don't know if you can find out any of these details. So I asked about what's with the ringing ears, what's with the ringing ears and why and I feel like so I wanna say it's gentamicin and clindamycin, but I think gentamicin for sure is one of the drugs that can cause, um, if you get it if you get a toxic level in your body, it can cause hearing loss, but can also cause kidney damage, and I feel like they were aware of that, but that he needed antibiotics, so they were watching it, but because his body couldn't clear things well, he had some, like, hearing damage from it. I'm not clear on that if that's what it is, and it might be something you need to ask about. Find out if he had to be transferred from the nursing home to the hospital at a point, because it just feels like there's something where it's and I feel like I'm not really fully coherent in that transfer period. I also feel like he was not a very spiritual or religious man, so there's a lot of that for me is why I'm not getting a lot of, full conversation. That's sort of my symbol, I guess, like, for some people, they're like, "It doesn't matter, I can still hear him like that," but it's like, it's kinda become developed as my symbol. Okay. I mean, it might be something just to kinda ask and poke around for validation. He's making me feel glasses and, like, having vision issues. He was okay, let's start this. Religious and spiritual are 2 different things. I can be religious and follow the law of the Bible, but not really actually have true, genuine faith and just follow out of fear. So there's a difference between religious and spiritual. My grandmother went to church all the time. I don't know that she actually believed. Uh, even when this is my mom's mom, when she was dying, um, I was unable to be down in Texas at the time, and I had a conversation with her and just, like, sort of to give her peace, and from what I heard, she wasn't coherent much longer after that conversation. I basically told her, He had glasses and vision issues. Um, she wasn't able to I basically told her that it was like, "God will accept you no matter what and love you and blah, 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 blah." Um, and no matter how much somebody prays and goes to church, they don't always know that. Um, I found much more faith and connection once I stepped away from religion. So, just because someone's religious doesn't mean they actually have that true connection. I don't have a big message for him other than I don't know if this is you or him with the clearing my throat, but it Hi, I must have had some drop off and go back on, I don't know. Please stay subscribed. Um, I don't know, there's not a huge message around, like, he is around, he is present, um, and he is watching over you. I think I'm questioning a lot because I you've given me a lot of information recently, in those emails, and so I feel like it seems so obvious for me to say he's watching out for you and you're gonna be okay, but that's, like, what I'm getting. You've been clearing your throat all day and currently drinking tea. Okay. So that's your validation because 'cause I'm like, that's your validation because 'cause I'm like, why do I wasn't clearing my throat at all. I went to sip my water, and I just felt like this is weird, like, I'm seeing an earring or, like, what would be like, kind of a dangly ring, but then he showed me a banana. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm gonna move on. He loves you very much. He loves you very much. You know that cheesy song, that "One More Time"? I don't know why I just heard that. It's not a song I listen to, but it's, I think, from the '90s. Um, Let me see if I can figure out who it is. It's not Daft Punk. Um, Maybe it is an '80s song. It's not Rod Stewart. Anyone wanna help me? No, it's not that one. I'm thinking it's Timmy T. That's who it is. I wouldn't have known that but that's the song I heard. Let's see. Okay, you should read the lyrics. So it's look up it's one more try, one more try. I would look up the lyrics and see if it resonates with you. One More Try by Timmy T. Clearly, I don't even know. Yes, yes. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, Nicole, you're up. Please like and subscribe and share me with your friends. The more you interact here, the more you comment on my videos after you see them, the more the algorithm picks it up and then it gets sent out to other people. So if you like me and you think you know, share me with others. Should you date David Adele? Uh, Hi, Encore. um, okay, first of all, I'm not gonna say should you because that like says like It's a disempowering question whenever you ask, "Should I?" So I'll look at it as if you do, if you don't, and then you make the decision because it's not my decision to make for you. Because I can see where so I get to see in relationships what your struggle will be or what the difficult point would be, and then you have to kinda decide, is that worth it to you? So your guides are funny. So I asked it, I go, "Would it be beneficial for her to date him?" And I heard, "Yeah," and then she'll learn a lot from it. Uh, it feels like it's gonna be a bit of an emotional roller coaster ride. Um, is he an Aries by chance? Because I was asking him like, "Well, who's he like that I know, like personality-wise?" And I saw somebody who I know who's an Aries, so I just wanna know if he's an Aries or if he's You're welcome, Ashley. So Aries is like, let me think, end of March, first half of April. So the person that I'm seeing is someone who happens to be an Aries, but also happens to be he's kind of a know-it-all. Like he just always has all the answers. And so I feel like you're going to have to be very assertive in this relationship and um set really like this relationship, if you don't, like it will you're gonna have to learn how to set really strong boundaries and assert yourself and make sure that you're heard. Like this one will teach you how to use your voice and stand up for yourself and advocate for yourself. Um, I don't want to say misogynist, but it's just this feeling of like he he will come off as very endearing and sweet and like, "Oh, he likes to take care of me and he's so chivalrous." But it becomes this point, like, if you don't set your boundaries and set your, stand up for yourself, it'll become, um, a little bit more controlling or a little bit more where I don't feel like my emotional needs are being met. Hmm. So, pros and cons of that, of why you would stay in a relationship like that, or why would I even date it? That sounds terrible. The fact of the matter is it doesn't feel like it feels like whoever you date, you would attract in sort of this sort of behavior because the lesson needs to be learned. I mean, you can do it on your own, do the affirmations, do the work and all of that stuff, and then you bring in healthier relationships that where you test those boundaries, but they're not as hard because you've already done the core work of it yourself. So then when you do the self-concept work and you heal your self-concept and you grow it in a healthier way, and reprogram your belief systems, then it doesn't mean that everything's perfect and wonderful and everybody shows up in these rosy ways. It just means that when they do show up in not so rosy ways, you're better able to deal with it, and it's not as it becomes less dramatic. But I just feel like there's going to be a lot of lessons and a lot of growth in this one. So I don't know if any of this resonates with you, but that's what I'm being shown. So okay. Since there's no comments, I'm gonna keep moving on. Starry Sky, you're up. You're welcome, Nicole. I'm happy for you to come back and be like, "No, it was so nice. He was wonderful." Manifest it differently, heal yourself, all of that good stuff. I'm always happy to have people like prove me wrong. I don't, I'm not here to be the whatever. Sarah is after Kay with one question. Starry Sky. So start with your self-concept and then it shifts differently. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while, by the way. Okay. From Robbie. Did Robbie pass from respiratory issues? Because I feel like an immediate pressure here in my stomach and like almost like I'm can't catch my breath. Can't catch my breath. Like when you get like a sucker punch or a gut punch, where you're like it's like this quick and then like. I feel like he has a personality because I feel like it's like rapid. Like everything's talking really fast. I talk like so. I don't know if he had pressured speech, forced speech, like a nervousness about him that would cause him to speak really fast. And ticks, like, I don't know if it's like a tick or because 'cause I'm doing this, like and I'm seeing somebody who, like, wore, like, t-shirt and jeans and has, like, a baseball-ish kinda hat on, or maybe it's, like, one of those little bike hats that, like, bike messengers wear, it's, like, the little with the little tiny bill, and, um, like, skinny. The energy feels to me like somebody who had a lot of mental health issues, but also did like self-medicated. So it feels like to me like and I don't feel like mental health like I'm crazy mental health, but like maybe even was a little bit neurodivergent, like maybe had ADHD or something like that. And so I did a lot of self-medicating. What's no? So yes and no is hard when I'm because there remember there's a little time delay. So sometimes I need a little know what? Okay, Ankur, I'll check in just a second. I'm in the middle. Know what? Know what? Starry Sky, what? No to what? And there's something about him being really like antsy. This, like, I'm doing this. I don't do this ever. Watch enough of my video. No one skinny and mental. There's something with, so did he have something where he was clearing his throat a lot towards the end? And there's something with, there's a nervousness about this energy, a fast, rapid, um, pacey type feeling to me. So he showed me being very skinny, but with like a big shirt. So did he lose a lot of the weight at the end? Was there like sudden weight loss or a large amount of weight loss towards the end of his life? Because he's showing me like a big baggy shirt and being very skinny. Sorry. My cousin just texted. Weight loss, weight gain. Bo, weight loss, weight gain, really big guy. Who I'm being seen is shown is so is there someone you know that might be coming through showing these things that so I'm seeing somebody who is I cannot change who I'm seeing. The first person I saw, and I'm seeing another face. The first person I saw was a thin, light-skinned gentleman wearing big baggy clothes, a big baggy t-shirt, like think like 80s skater, big baggy or 90s, like the big skater type clothes. And like a little hat. And he's pacing, and there's a lot of nervous energy around this. So I might be picking up somebody else. Does Jerry have this nervous energy or feeling like ADHD or like really like it's just this energy of like fast, 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 fast. Like I feel very like I don't have Cash App, just PayPal. Sorry. I have Venmo. I'm not like, who is this other person? There's a reason this other person came through. Would this have been one of his friends? Does anybody else relate to this person that's coming through? Wait, his mom does. Jerry, are you really skinny and wear big baggy clothes? Or did you just lose a lot of weight? And is your son's skin color darker than yours? Can you let her type so I can feel her energy instead of your energy? Jerry, do you have like a really sinking feeling in your gut right now? And like, because I just felt it's like that's where you carry your anxiety and your nervousness is here versus like sometimes how people feel people's anxiety here. Okay, I'm not gonna do if you're having a few people you wanna I can't I ship for a whole bunch of people. I do have to limit it a little bit because it takes a really long time. as you can see. Ow. Look. Did he like Biggie Smalls? I asked that because I saw the skinny guy, and then I saw literally Biggie Smalls' face. And I know he's not coming in. Because I don't. Do you know who Biggie Smalls is, the rapper? You do have anxiety. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out why I would see him if he's not really skinny, why he would show me being really skinny with really big clothes. But he did pass with like something where I feel like I can't breathe at the end because I like a gut punch and like I can't breathe. So to me, that would feel like an injury or an accident. It wouldn't feel like it feels sudden passing. Are you sure he didn't also have some mental health stuff that was untreated that he was sort of self-medicating? If you wanna check in with, Jalen, if you wanna check in with a whole bunch of whatever, just hit me up for a full reading. Go pay for a private reading, and I can spend more time with you on it. It's just hard to do too many here. Because it does. It's like getting messages from guides is so much different than like it's like I'm going back and forth. Do I have the right person here? And your guide's like, I just always know I have the right person. And because sometimes they don't know how to communicate that well, or they give me and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'm trying to work through it. And then there's this delay here. Oh, I didn't mean for you guys, but I meant for Jalen, but I'm happy to do a private reading. In a private reading, I can like you can give me a picture and I can like it's oh, what do they call it? When you hold an object and you read the energy from it, you're one of you knows and we'll say the answer to that. I'm about to get on my PayPal instead of a question. Could you just give me whatever message you can? Yeah, I can, but you'll have to wait till we're through the list. Do you have another question, Starry Sky? And Devery, you're up. I know you said this would be your last one for a little while. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you do private readings, I'll take a picture and then I can read the energy from the picture and do all that stuff. It's like much quicker actually, and then I can go through a few more people. It's this way is like it pulls the energy differently. When I teach people in psychic development circles and they're like, general readings are actually really hard. I'm like, yeah, they're a lot harder than a quick question. I need to just silence my phone. Hang on. There. Sorry, guys. Yeah, seeing pictures gives me like that's actually why my best friend is a photographer and for a while she would like send me pictures and I was like, oh, like I love her work and she's very talented, but like I just don't want to read everybody's energy. So I'd be like, can you just warn me quick? And I also think it's funny when people like they'll show like, if you see celebrity couples or whatever, and it's like couple goals, and I'm like, clearly you're not reading the energy of these people because they are fucking miserable. They are so dysfunctional. Like, yeah. You're welcome, Starry Sky. Okay, hold on, Ankur. I haven't forgotten, and you have lots of people ahead of you. Don't worry, you're not gonna get missed. I promise. I'm very thorough. I built my entire business on like my integrity and word of mouth, and so I promise you're added. You have one question, add anchor for one. Um, but when there's so many people ahead of you, I don't. If I keep going back and forth, as soon as somebody tells me, then I don't get to the questions and I don't move through them, and I'm here forever. And I know you're new here, so that's why. But what do you mean unwilling? You might be catching their energy in pictures. Well, it's not about like, so that's the other thing is like people are like, oh my God, I'm holding on to energy. I got to clear myself. It doesn't work that way. It's like, that'd be like saying like, I'm holding on to your, like, it just doesn't work that way. I mean, people put a lot of fear into the whole psychic stuff. And I guess I practice differently and I have different belief systems around it. So no, it's like I just see different details than you do. Like you may go, "Oh, look, they're wearing a pretty yellow dress and like whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, look, they have anxiety and depression." Like it's just another aspect of a being that I happen to see. There's no need for thanking for patience. It's good. If you had another question, go ahead. No apologies. I know you're new here. I haven't ever seen your name, so I remember my regulars and I welcome my newbies. So thank you, thank you. You're welcome. Um, no apologies. Apologies get used unnecessarily often. Um, all right. Devery wants to know, I just got canceled to apply for a state job and I'm feeling optimistic about it. Will I get it? Yes, you will. I really need something financially beneficial to come through. Be great for beginning for my birthday week. Okay, I wanted to say this because Devery said that she was going to have a boring birthday. And so I want to manifest for Devery, for everybody here. Let's manifest. Let's all like take a second to visualize Devery coming back here and saying, I had a wonderful birthday. um, so I just want to say that let's manifest first. It's good to manifest for other people too and good stuff. Hi, Regine. So yeah, I do feel like you'll get the job. And I actually feel like you're going to get paid more than you're expecting. So it feels like there's wiggle room for the pay because they're having a hard time filling positions. Um, and so I want you to go in like I used to go into my nursing jobs because like remember this. There's a massive worker shortage and it's not because there's a shortage of people, it's because people are demanding more and they're not settling for less. um, and so you have wiggle room, you have bargaining power. And so when I started nursing there was a nursing shortage. And so I knew, I was like, I just kind of always went in with that idea and I wasn't like, well, if I get the job, I was like, okay, so when they hire me, like what do you need from me, when are you going to give me the official offer? And I didn't ever feel like I had wiggle room, but I feel like for pay now you actually have some wiggle room, like where um they might give you a little bit more than expected. So I do feel like it. And there's something about a Thursday. So I don't know what Thursday, the significance of Thursday, maybe Tuesday, but it's like I feel like it's Thursday um being significant. And there might even be another job offer or 2 positions that they offer you, like we have both of these positions open, or another job offer that comes right on the heels of it, something like that. Okay? Lana, you asked, any messages for my sister Nita? Is this a mediumship day? Oh, you guys are killing me. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I kid, I kid. You applied to 2. Okay, okay. All right, so your sister Nita. I think this is Nita. Is there also a respiratory issue with Nita, but not here? I actually feel like a breathing issue. Like I feel like I can't breathe all the way through my nose. So I'm it's weird. Like that Like I'm seeing a nasal cannula, but I feel like I'm not fully able to. It's weird. I don't feel short of breath here, but I feel like almost some kind of a blockage here and something with my mouth, chin, mouth. Um, did she ever do a witch's cackle, like, as a joke with you, or is there something about, oh, like, I don't know, I heard like a witch cackling. Ah, she broke her nose years ago. Okay. Would it have caused, like, a septal deviation where it was hard for her to breathe through her nose? And would there have been something with her chin? Or maybe her front teeth, like, so maybe she broke her nose and, like, had to have fake front teeth put in on the bottom, though, not the top, I feel like the bottom. Um, cackle. Hey, Rock John, can you keep the chat between everybody down? Because 'Cause I'm just having to filter through everybody, especially when I'm doing thank you. Um, she had bad teeth. Okay. Just because when I'm doing mediumship, it's just a little harder to kinda filter through everybody's chatter. A gap on the front, but the bottom teeth specifically, like these teeth right here, and I'm actually on if you take the 2 center lower teeth, I'm actually on the right-hand side, feels more pressure to me. Did she really like the movie Weird Science? Because I literally heard the opening, the opening song, "She's alive! She's alive!" Weird Science. And what's with the witch's cackle? Is this she said, "This is my favorite time of year." I guess she really liked Halloween? She's got a really funny sense of humor because it feels like she's, like, playing up the spooky part of it, like, she feels really funny, like, pretty sarcastic, like, I'm literally like I started doing showed me, like, her nails done, and, like, "Come on, Lana." Nope. I heard the Weird Science song, "She's alive." Maybe that's just joking around about her. Oh, she loved holidays, okay. Did she always she had her nails were done, like, did she like doing her nails? Did she do it like, they're done, they're done, they're nice. She was very witty. Well, she still is, she's just not she called herself the corpse bride, I don't know what that is. She's just got a really, like, funny, um, like, goofy sense of humor. Always polished, yeah, because it's like they're not even just that, it's like they're pretty, like, they're not crazy long or anything, but they're a little bit longer and they're pretty. She has this, like, personality that's almost like a performer because she was like, "Hello, my baby." Like, she's, like, doing all these funny little things that are just, they're interesting to me because it's like she's, like, high energy, having a lot of fun with this, enjoying this, like so I feel like I don't know if you actually went to a psychic fair together or did that stuff, but, she was into this stuff too. Always shaped nicely, yeah, but not, like, crazy long. Would she have joked that she was a witch? I don't know what this is. Like, I just heard it again, I was like, "Ah, ha, ha, ha." I put this pillow behind me, so that way when I lean back, I don't look like I'm, like, leaning back, like, back bending, so I can lean back and sit and not look weird. Always excited, yes, was into the stuff too, yeah, because it just feels like so much fun. I'm still around, and, like, we would have done this together, like, going to psychic fairs and, um, like, I heard 2 sayings now, just, like, going to hell in a handbasket, and then, like, we're going to hell like, my sister and her friends used to joke, like, they're going to hell, and one of them would be the bus driver, and it's, like, that kind of sense of humor. Your dad called you his little witches, that's it. I'm like, "Why do I keep hearing the witch thing?" Like, I keep hearing a witch's cackle. That is definitely the connection. Like, she's literally dancing around, she's like, "I'm good. I'm good. I can do anything. I'm good. I can do anything." So, I don't know if towards the end of her life, it was physically, I wasn't able to do a lot, and so that's why it's like, there's so much energy and so much, like, silliness, and she said she visits you in her dreams. So, like, there's I don't know if there's some kinda doubt around it or whatever, and she said she talks to you. So if you're talking to her and you think you feel like, "Oh, I'm imagining her voice in my head. I feel like, like this is all my imagination, but it's like I can really hear her voice." She's like, "I'm talking to you." She wasn't able to do a lot. Well, she can now, and she's full of energy. Like she's like, "Hello." Her energy kind of reminds me of is it Melissa McCarthy who has like the kind of reddish hair, and she's just like this like bright sparkly eyes, and really like there's this like energetic wonderful glow about her. Like she just has that like electric magnetic energy, and that's how I feel about your sister. She's welcome anytime. This is no like, listen, this isn't a ding to anybody else who wanted to connect in with somebody. This is just like, there's just those people that you meet that you feel good around them, and I just feel good around her. Would she have said like jokingly, like when you were upset, stop crying, you big baby? Because I just heard that. So that's not me. I'm passing along the message. I'm not being insensitive. You are hearing her. She had big eyes and people were drawn to her. Yes. Okay. So I want to validate for you, you are not crazy. You are hearing her. She is around you. She loves you. She loves connecting this way. She loves connecting with you, just chatting it up. And she's just fantastic. It's amazing. I felt like I heard my Wisconsin accent in there. She's fantastic. Oh my God. My sister used to like make fun of me for that. I got really drunk. I used to like to drink Captain Morgan's Coke. Captains and Cokes. Can I get a Captain and Coke? And I would get drunk and I'd be like, "You don't understand," and, like, everything would slur together. "You don't understand. I love Captain and Coke." College. Yeah. I had a short-lived relationship with gin. It was tumultuous, and I liked beer. Kleine Kugel, Kleinies. Kleinies in Newcastle. Okay, I'm gonna move on because we've been here for a while. Sorry. Random when I hear little random things. All right, Lana. She loves you. And maybe I almost want to go, I love you, but she loves you. All right, Regine, you're up. I'm just checking payments. Jalen, I got yours. So Ankur, I need to add Ankur and Jalen on my handwritten list. Vegas is happening. Woo! Blessings, Joes. So, I do feel you doing well, but it feels like it feels like a slow crawl to in like 5 years. I feel like that's where it really starts to grow, and in 10 years you'll be where you imagined as a little girl. And it's sort of like if you always so this is my not my this is my like not psychic. This is my more spiritual manifesty side. If you always knew that, stop doubting it because you're not seeing it in the 3D and just allow it and everything will start to come together. And also, it's not to be like, oh, I'm worshiping money. It's not that when I say this, like you love money, like, but like we have all of these weird ideas around money, and if you look at money as not like the saying the root money is the root of all evil, or like all of that, like it's not. Money is a reflection, like what you do with money is a reflection of who you are as a person, right? So if you aren't in a core self place of being like stable and secure without it, when you have it, it can be the root of all evil, but it can also be do really wonderful and amazing things with it. Um, and I will say that. So it feels like just like sort of like shoring up those ideas around what money is. And like, but it feels like again, like it starts to really kind of build in 5 years and then in 10 years be where you imagined yourself or felt like you would be when you were a little girl. Hi, Blueberry. Welcome, welcome. Please subscribe, share me with your friends. During the week, I do manifesting chats because it isn't a this or that, it's a this and that, like it all intuition and manifesting and all of that. And because I believe manifesting is more of a spiritual practice. And, if you start with healing yourself and your self beliefs, because manifesting is really, I believe in the law of assumption rather than the law of attraction. I mean, the law of attraction works, but the law of assumption is more powerful. And you create and you manifest your belief systems. You're welcome, Regine. So Stephanie, you're up, and then Kay. And so like with my money, I like to donate. And so we have over 4,700 provided for over 4,700 meals so far this year with the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. So my question is actually a mediumship question too. You're killing me today. Any messages from my friend Jocelyn? Okay, Laura, I'll look. Okay. Did Jocelyn have a little bit like softer and higher toned voice? And she spoke kind of softly because I asked, and it like the energy reminds me of almost the way a fairy is. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, she doesn't have like the Miley Cyrus voice. She has a like just a softer, it reminds me of like if it was a character in a movie, it'd be like the voice of a fairy. Josephine. Did I say Josephine? Sorry. Josephine. No, 4,700 meals. Over 4,700 meals. It was soft and sweet because I was like, "Are you here?" And I heard, "I am here." And it was like this really like light little soft voice. She's showing me like I see someone who, and this might not be right, but it's like maybe it's just to get the voice that I'm familiar with as a friend of mine that I was friends with in college, and a little while after the woman, well, they're divorced now, but his ex-wife, and her name was Jess, but she had really like she was really tiny and fine and like had like this perfect skin and this little pixie like face and this like fine blonde straight hair, and she was like the sweetest and had this very soft voice. She was showing something, I was trying to figure out what it was, and it was, I don't know if a dragonfly is your symbol for her, but I'm seeing, like, little fine wings, and so it doesn't elicit the feeling of being a butterfly to me, it feels like actually a dragonfly. And then she's showing me a hummingbird being significant as well. I feel like people perceived her as being extremely delicate, but she was actually an incredibly strong person. Sorry, I'm just trying. She told me she can't hear her. Did you just, like, I heard something like, I don't know, like something that kinda like that noise or like that maybe had a lid, but I heard that, and then, um, she showed me a like a silver brush. I don't know why she's showing me a silver brush, but I don't know if you just knocked something on the table or knocked something, I don't know. It sounds like what would be like something hard on a table. And do you have a dog? Because she showed me a dog, like, standing up, so I don't know if you have a dog and but I feel like the dog notices her. My ego wants to hesitate and be like, "I don't know, dog, cat, dog," but I'm like, "No, stay strong, it's a dog." No dog? There's something did she have a dog? Or do you have something of hers that would be small, like, on the table? 'Cause sometimes they make me hear the sound to be, like, of this kind of a thing. Do you have something of hers, and did she have a dog? And it feels like a little bit larger, like medium to large dog versus being a small, teeny tiny dog. There was a neighbor making noise. Okay, did it sound like that? Like something getting knocked over or, like if somebody dropped something on the floor on the floor above you? Or I don't know, it just sounded like something like, it's not like a loud a door. Does the neighbor have a dog? I'm like, I know there's a dog. And she's like, don't hesitate. It's a dog. It's not a cat. It's not a little one. Did she have a dog? There's something with a freaking dog, I'm telling you. Do you have a question for her? Because it feels like, her energy is, like, so soft and kind and generous, but it's, like, funny because I also feel she's like, "Okay, let's move this along." Like, she's also kinda like, there's something with a dog, so it might not make sense to you, maybe she grew up with a dog, but I'm telling you I'm seeing a dog, and I cannot let that go because I can't, like, I'm happy to be wrong, but I know what I'm seeing. Um, so it's like she was really nice, but I also feel like she was like, "Okay, let's move this along, like, let's." Do you talk to her a lot? She's not showing me a drawing or a cartoon. She showed me like an actual, like a dog standing up. So maybe she's with a dog that was a childhood dog, but there's a dog. And it almost looks like an Australian sheep, not an Australian sheepdog, an Australian shepherd. Is that what I'm thinking of? Australian terrier, maybe? Where they're like gray and black, and sometimes they have blue eyes. Okay, I'll look for your payment in just a minute. Do you have a question you want from her? Just for brevity sake. You've been talking about her and then you found out she's definitely okay. You've been talking about her and then you found out she was gone. Then so she can hear you talking, but you can't hear her talking. Does that make sense when I said that way? She can hear you talking, but she can't. So sometimes it is literally like in your head when you're connecting with them and you're developing your own language is like, what does that mean? I know this sounds terrible and it's hard for us to understand because we're the ones grieving here, but it's like she's like, I'm freer, I'm lighter, it's so much better over here. It feels like she's like, it's more organized, it makes more sense, it's just easier. So I feel like organization was very important for her. Um, and I also feel like she's like, and being on time. Like I feel like she was kind of a she didn't make you feel bad if you were late, but she was always on time or early. Like it was really important to her. Yes. So she said, "Don't worry, you'll see me again." So I feel like it's more about and like a kiss on the cheek. So I feel like she was um um she was like a huggy person. Like she wasn't like a stay away from me. She was a very warm and genuine person. And I don't feel like it's because you're gonna die and you'll see her again. It feels like I feel like she'll visit you in your dreams. Like I don't feel like it's all creepy and weird. It feels like a very loving, kind thing. Okay. All right, Kay, you were up. I will check my payments. Okay, I have one for Laura K and one for Julia. You're very welcome, Stephanie. Yeah, let's go ahead and close the list then after that because I think that's yeah, we'll close the list then. Oh, yes. Oh, definitely close that list. Kay, if you want to start asking your questions, Sarah and Ankur, you guys can ask. Kay's got 3 she signed up for. Unfortunately, the mediumship they just take longer. And so hopefully you guys don't have a whole bunch more mediumship. Okay, I don't see your first one. You put 2. 1. I don't see your first one. Am I missing here? All right, what do I see for your I'm just gonna look at your PayPal and get your first name. I don't know why, I just feel like I want that. Okay. All right, Kayla. Oh, do you feel you'll end up buying my father's condo? Be able to afford it? I'm nervous about all the fees that go into especially insurance. Buying or looking elsewhere. I think the last time I said I felt like you would buy his condo. Um, what's interesting is I feel like it'll end up being a deal where it's like you rent to buy, you rent directly from him to buy it, and so it doesn't become like a when you buy directly from a parent, there's other ways of going about it where you're not paying fair market value. I don't know how else to explain it, or you're not paying like the massive amount. So, but it feels like he would be willing to do something like where it's like rent to buy, like you start making the payments, but he still owns the deed at this point. He wants to rent from you. Oh, if you buy it and he rents from you. Oh, then that's what that is. I do feel like you'll be able to afford it and it won't be an issue. Um, and I think that's why I was like, oh, rent to buy. Like it's whatever it is, it's affordable. So if he wants to, yeah, it feels like it's completely affordable. It does feel like you're in your head about it a little bit, and they're sort of like saying, let go and recognize that you can do this. Insurance is not that expensive. I mean, I live in New Jersey and like taxes suck. They're really high here, but like insurance isn't that high for us. I mean, we're not in a flood area and all of that stuff, but we don't have a pool or anything like that, or a large dog or anything. Um, it does feel like you'll be okay. It feels like it'll be a little bit of an adjustment getting used to it, but that it'll be fine. And because the rent makes it completely doable. No, private insurance will not be a concern. And the second is what skill career path do I see you pursuing? I'm tired. On what? So I'm like just asking because I'm like, okay, what is it? And the first things that came into mind were like nursing, but then law. And I'm like, what? Like it feels like whatever they are, they're totally different. Like I don't feel something creative, but it feels totally different. It's so strange to me because it does feel like they're kind of like it really is your choice and you are quite capable of doing anything. Um I know kind of you'll be fine. You're in Connecticut, right? Because I also feel like property tax in Connecticut is like nothing. Um Only because I'm sort of obsessed with looking at Zillow, like, when they did that Saturday Night Live sketch, I was like, "Oh, that's me, other people do that, okay." But I'm obsessed with looking at like, when I was a little girl, I just imagine looking at people's houses and, like, I loved going on those big mansion tours and, like, I'm sort of also like, I don't know, I don't know, whatever. That's just me. I have dreams about being in a lot of different houses and things like that. You were thinking of game warden, but you don't have the confidence? You're in Maine. I don't think the taxes are very high in Maine. Um, so maybe that's why I was getting the legal? I don't know. Whatever. I can be wrong, right? Nobody's ever 100%. Um, it's funny because 'cause I'm not really like when you even when you say it, I'm like, I don't feel like that's what you'll do. Like, I feel like you may initially go to school for that and then find a different specialty or a different something where then you end up changing. Sorry for the big yawn. I should have covered my mouth. That was rude. Wait. Well, so law can be anywhere from doing something in the legal like, you know, a game warden is technically like an officer of the law, right? You were told psychic and that your gifts will open up? Hey, no nicks on my actual career. Um, it's a good thing I have a sense of humor. Um, I don't I it's not that I don't I feel like everybody has intuition and, like, things start to open up and grow. I don't see you going in that direction, and it's, like, not that you can't do it or whatever, if you really wanted to, I don't see you going in that direction. First of all, because, hi, that's how you feel about it. Wait, you want to do it? You want something in wait, I don't understand when you want something in writing. I don't think that you'll end up being a psychic as a like, getting payment for it and everything else. And it's not to say that you can't, and listen to me when I say this to you, because I believe in manifesting. When I'm reading energy, I'm reading at where you're at this point in time and the trajectory you would go in this point in time if you started your whatever and you continued on that path. You can change anything, nothing is set in stone. In paper? What's a career in paper? You wanna write something. I don't see it right now. Again, maybe that's because technically, in your manifesting energy, you're not really in that mode of doing that because there's a lot of doubts and beliefs about what it is, like something that shows I have education. Well, I did my so you want to get a college degree, but then you don't want to use your college degree. Am I right? Uh, Financially, that doesn't make sense, but blah, blah, blah. Like if you know that what you're wanting to do is develop your psychic abilities and move in that direction, I don't see you ending up doing that. That said, if you want to do that, um, oh, it's okay. If you want to do that and that's your desire, then I would say like Holistic Studies Institute, where I got my certifications from. Go get certified as a psychic medium. Go get certified in seance conducting. Go get certified in um, energy healing and like I don't know. They're not. I don't think they're doing out energy healing online right now, but they have online courses right now that you can do there, or they when they go back into in person, I'm happy to advertise that. If you want to just do it on the side and work with me, join my psychic development group and start to use your abilities. It doesn't, I help you develop them. There isn't a clear career. So I saw like what felt like medical and then legal, but legal, like medical could be anywhere from like nursing whatever, and legal, you said game warden, right? So that's technically a legal position. You're an officer of the law in a sense, right? You're maintaining the law of the gaming division, whatever. It's technically a legal position. Um, I'm not getting a specific like you should do this. I can tell you I don't see you doing readings for a living. Like it might be for like a side job, but I don't see that as the main income earner for you. There was a gentleman, and I don't know if he watches these anymore, but he came on here. His name was Albert, and at the time he was in high school, which I didn't know. But he's lovely, and he was like wanting to know where he's going to college. And I saw the East Coast, and then I was like, oh, I feel like you're going to be a doctor. I keep seeing doctor. He's like, no, I'm going to go to law school. Well, guess what? He's in med school now, so or he's like heading on the med school path now. So, and it wasn't because of what I said. Just I'm seeing the trajectory of where you're at right now. What does Todd think of you? What's so funny is I imagine that someone asked me, what does this man think of me? And I would be saying, but what do you think of them? Why do you have them on a pedestal? Are they lucky enough to have you? So what does Todd feel about Kayla? Okay, so they're making me feel like he likes you. However, I don't feel like it's romantically right now, but it feels like because you're very guarded with your emotions and your feelings. Oh, he's your boss. Well, then let's hope it's not romantic. So he likes you. I don't want to like go into that whole idea like boys will be boys, but some people are not emotionally mature enough to um, understand their behavior, and it's not an excuse. It's just he's emotionally mature. I guess whenever somebody asks me how do they feel about me, I automatically assume it's romantic. I guess I should throw those assumptions out the door. I don't think he thinks you're stupid. I don't get that feeling at all. I think, and I will say this to you, when men especially, but when anybody puts you in a position where they use little comments to kind of ding you down, like when people say, honey, darling, sweetie, or they try and make you feel like you're ditzy, that's really their own insecurity. And it says nothing about you. So that's like on a just a general level, like it is about them. And then on a manifesting level, it's showing up as people show up to play the part that you feel about yourself. So maybe you're not confident in your own um, intelligence and abilities just to handle like life in general, whatever. Like, so it's like, you're a little insecure about that, and that's okay. We've all been there. And it happens to a lot of women, especially because of the whole, well, we live in a patriarchal society, and there's a lot of misogyny, and there's a lot of misogynistic women, believe it or not. Um, 80 hours a week is insane. um, I want to say like after like 30 or 36 hours, the level and quality of work drops tremendously. Don't quote me on that, but like um then if you don't understand his responses, just say, I'm really like, that's curious. That's interesting. Hmm. And like let it go like that. Like it doesn't matter. His responses may not, because of who he is and not being emotionally mature, may not match or be appropriate. Okay. Um yeah, you don't owe anybody a response or an understanding if their comments are inappropriate. So immature, or in a way sort of like dinging and then doing the gaslighting thing of like, oh, I was just joking. Like I I had so many people do things like that, and I was too young um and not secure enough in myself to just be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and to sort of know how to put people in their place and stand up for myself without being offensive or rude, just like not letting it. But I'm telling you, and I say this to all of you, and I say it all the time, do the affirmations. Go to Jill and James. I really do need to make my own, but I want to find somebody to record them for and have them put it all together, because um, do his sleep affirmations, do the 30 nights of it, just the reset. So it's not like then you done there and everything's perfect, because you can clean your entire house and you still get dust here and there, and you still need to pick up, and you still need to do laundry, and you still have daily upkeep. So you do have daily upkeep. It is like doing your affirmations and have living a consciously a conscious mindset where you're paying attention to your manifesting, you're paying attention to your thoughts and what you create in your life is a daily activity. It is not like I never have to think about anything again. I can go on living the way I was, because you won't want to anymore. Okay. All right. Sarah, Ankur, Jalen, you guys can ask your questions. You just retype them for me. I'm sorry this is going so long. I'm working the best I can. Hi, Sarah. Curious if a long-term committed romance relationship with Michael would go well with my life's trajectory. Do you or he have a respiratory thing right now, either asthma or it feels like bronchitis, something like that going on? And no, I don't think I'm coming down with something. It's like I keep getting between different people. I keep getting these weird, like, it's the season. Spring is always itchy nose, allergies. Just happens. No. Okay. So pay attention to this. If you don't, well, please make sure, because, and like when I have done this, either you or he are going to end up, because we're talking about him and I'm not really sure which one it is, to be honest with you, might develop a respiratory thing in the next couple of weeks. So I don't feel like it's COVID. I just feel like it's like not to say don't get tested, don't be safe, all of that, but just don't ignore it and all of that too. Because again, I am not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, or a financial advisor. If you need one of those, please seek those. um, Michael. Okay, so I heard it will go well, but and then it was this like, look, we all have our problems. Your your guides are really matter of fact and really like logical, and it's sort of like they're sort of telling you to like relax a little bit about trying to control everything and trying to like it's my sense is that you would have witnessed a lot of marital discord and or broken relationships, and so it's sort of like not, it's that idea, and I know a lot of people have this, I don't want to marry somebody like my father, but it's like really there's a really big part to that. And so it's like having extreme independence, and you have extreme independence, and so it's more like, will I still be able to be that and be married to him? So I keep being reminded of my friend's relationship, one of my friends from high school, and she and her husband actually lived apart at a point because she was clerking in DC, and they're both professionals and they have kids and they make it work. I mean, I'm not there all the time, so, and we're not super uber close. We were friends in high school, and she's like one of the funniest, smartest people I know. Um, and just like going to go big places in her life, and it just feels like, because I feel like there's going to be travel involved and everything else, and it feels like it'll work out, and he would be supportive, and he would really, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be communication issues or fights or just, arguments and disagreements, but that's part of any relationship and growth. um so it's sort of like, and I'm saying it again, you got to deal with your own self-concept stuff. And so when we have extreme independence, that's usually there's going to be a lot of trust issues with anybody. Um, we have extreme independence oftentimes because we were taught as children from a very early age that nobody was dependable. Like we couldn't count on anybody because nobody was going to come through for you. you know, and so it's like, well, I might as well do it myself. And so they're sort of saying like, you go through and do the reparent thing. Hi, Sun Moon. Go through and do the reparent thing and do the like, I am safe, I am secure, I trust myself, I create my own peace. I am strong, I am powerful. It's safe for me to trust others because I trust myself. If you trust yourself and your intuition and you see the red flags, so that's another like mine, I always, because I have my own trust issues and independence, and so I'm very familiar with all of these energies and feelings. Um, I didn't trust myself for a long time. And we're often taught not to trust our own intuition. You know, it's like, um, you get a not great feeling about somebody when you first meet them and you think like, oh, they and they're saying all the right things and they're smiling, pretty, happy, whatever. But you just get that not so great feeling about them. And then you're in your head, you like your own ego goes, that's really judgmental of you. But then like 6 months down the road, you're like, oh, kicking myself for not having trusted my intuition. And so like I always remind people that it's safe to trust that. And it doesn't mean you're being a judgmental, evil person. You're just feeling that vibrationally. And it doesn't mean they're an evil, awful person. It just means vibrationally, you're not a great match. And so you should trust that. And the thing is, they're reminding me to tell you is that like you can trust yourself to trust your own intuition that you're going to like pick a good person. And they go, and Michael's a good person. He's not perfect, but nobody is. And we all have our own stuff to work out. But it's really important that you focus on yourself and your own self concept so that you don't end up creating a super, super rocky relationship that doesn't have to be super, super rocky. And it's not that you're so terrible, whatever, but like we get in our head and we have a lot of self talk and self beliefs and doubts and all of that stuff, beliefs and doubts and all of that. And it creates situations that don't need to be there. Okie doke. All right, I will leave you with that. Ankur, Jalen, you guys are up. Ankur, Jalen, Laura K, you're up. There you are, ma'am. I'm trying to for job change since long, but getting negative results. Um, I'm trying to understand it. Sorry. Because I want to make sure I'm clear before I start connecting in. So it's you're trying for a job and you've been trying to get a job for a long time, but not having any results. So I don't know if I can do a month and a date. Sometimes that doesn't work that well, but I can give you a roundabout time. Okay. Or I'll try. I can't guarantee that. Okay. I can't guarantee anything. Like let's, but I will do my best. I don't understand this last part, month and date as talks are going on at my place and my future growth. Hi, Liz. Um, could you help clarify that for me so I understand it? So while I'm waiting for you to do that, I will look at Laura's real quick. Where does my spirit guide see my career and finances headed? For example, do they see me staying with my company, getting a raise, doing well in my career, or feeling financially stable, or the opposite? Oh, okay. Talks with references. Okay. So you're saying now I'm a little even. When will I see somebody offering you a job and like going through and doing the reference checks because it's that quality? Is that what you're asking me? Okay, so I'm gonna look at I actually feel like you're gonna be offered something like an interview within 2 weeks, and they said you're just on the precipice, it's just that it's been so long, it's like you're starting to sink into doubts, like, I feel like on the whole, you're a very positive person, like, you're always the person among your friends that's, like, the motivator. Does that make sense when I say that? No, I'm not taking anyone else. Okay, thank you for clearing that. Are you normally the motivator among your friends, Ankur? Alright, I'll come back to you because I wanna make sure you feel. Yes, you are. Okay, okay, that's true. So it feels like I went into this and I was super positive and I was doing the manifesting. And even if you don't really believe in manifesting, but I was seeing myself getting a job, like doing the things that I need to do. Don't worry, I'll have a job soon. And then it was like, no job, no job, no job. And it feels like it's literally like it literally feels like 2 weeks out. It doesn't feel that far out. But it feels like you need to just go back into that persisting of the job is here, the job is mine, I've got it. And it feels like I don't wanna say like dream job, but it kind of feels like a dreamy job. Like it feels like you couldn't have been offered a better thing. Okay, so it's like I saw myself working at a specific place. So I don't know if you realized that what you were doing was manifesting. Like I saw myself working and making this much money and having these kind of coworkers. And I would imagine myself going in, and maybe you didn't realize that was what you were doing was manifesting. So then it's like, why is everything showing up and it's not what I want? And it's like nothing's there. And it's because the jobs that you've been applying to or been don't fit that imagination thing what you created up here. And so it's like, you're literally almost there. Don't give up now. Just go back to that imagination thing. Go into the see yourself working. And it's like, it literally feels within 2 weeks. So it may be 2 weeks that you get the interview or 2 weeks that you get the offer. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it feels like 2 weeks. It's very quick. So don't give up. Yeah, so I feel like I get better salary, I get better coworkers, it feels just energetically a better space, and I'm excited about it. It feels busy, it feels like there's a lot of it's a little bit of a learning curve, but that you're qualified for it and capable of doing the work. I do feel like whatever you do is in an office with, like, cubicles, because that's what I'm seeing. I can be off on that, but, like, it just feels like it's like, I'm not in a factory or I'm not in like a small business, like a small, mom and pop type business. Cloud computing, that would make sense because I was like computery type, whatever. You'll get something, but it feels like it's like 2 weeks, so don't give up. Like imagine yourself going into this place and going to work and seeing it and knowing that you're the perfect person for this job. They just love you. Like just go into this knowing. I swear that I was always manifesting my jobs as a nurse because when I applied to the NICU, they said they wanted somebody with a bachelor's degree and like 7 years like experience in a NICU. I did not have experience in the NICU. I did not have a bachelor's degree. I had an associate's degree. And they hired like when I interviewed, they were like, I had sent my like at the time, this was like 2003, they weren't doing a whole lot of it was still kind of new to doing online resumes and applications. And I sent everything. And they said they and I called because I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Houston for the weekend. Um, did you get my resume?" And they're like, "No, we didn't." But and I was like, "Well, I'll be in can you interview?" And they're like, "We'll interview you." And I interviewed for 3 different positions. And because I never thought, oh, I can't, I was just like, whatever, they need people. Like I just decided and assumed. I never felt like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like I never had zero doubt about it. And it just feels like you need to just go into it like, look, there is a worker shortage everywhere. People, so it just feels like just go into it knowing that you're the candidate, you're qualified, they'll love you, the pay will be great. And I feel energetically, they want somebody who's positive and a go-getter and like ready to work and ready and eager to learn. And it just feels like you, but you need to keep seeing that and not give up and not doubt yourself. And I heard, this isn't like you. Like, I hear yourself almost motivating yourself and, like, being your self motivator. It's like you need what you do for your friends, you need to do for yourself too. That is a huge part of manifesting is, like, motivating yourself, pumping yourself up instead of, like, being the negative yucky voice in your head, pump yourself up. Because the truth is you're the one who's with you all the time. Be your constant motivator. But I know sometimes we get a little like, I do it too. Sometimes I email KK and I'm like, give me a pep talk. All right. So I'm gonna move on from that. Jalen, who answered? It was Laura K. Jalen, if you want to type your question, or Julia, and or where does spirit see my career and finances headed? So the feeling I get around you is like you tend to shoot for the stars or imagine that, but then you doubt yourself that you're like, oh, that's like whatever. But it's like you imagine yourself being at the top of your career and imagine yourself being like, but then it just feels like y- you doubt yourself and so you settle for less than you're capable of, like energetically manifesting and all of that. Not that I think um so it feels like 5 years down the road, I know this isn't what you want to hear. I feel like I get over that, like, I start to get over that imposter syndrome feeling. I start to get over feeling like and I start to stand in my own power, and then it's like taking off, like your career just starts to go like this, and it feels like in 10 when you will feel like, I'm doing exactly what envisioned myself doing. I didn't stop myself, and I'm making the money that it's like, I feel like I'm making more money than I ever could have imagined, but it's like kind of a slow grind there. So I don't feel like you're struggling to pay rent or anything like that. I feel like you're okay. Um, they're telling me that it's important for you to start following people that do investing because I feel like you're not investing as well as you could be. Um, it's not that you're not managing money well because I feel like you have a budget and you meet your budget, but they're like, but you could be doing better. Like you could be um, smarter investing, smarter use of your money is the way I feel like it. But but in 5 years, I feel like, okay, I don't feel like an imposter anymore. I actually feel like I have, and this imposter thing is so strange, but it happens with women a lot where we feel like until we have like 40 years under our belt, it's like a lot of women, and I'm 43, so like I'm sort of in this age range. I am in this age range. I'm not sort of, I am in this age range where, and I find it with a lot of my friends that like like we don't feel like we have enough until we have so much it's insane. Um, and it just feels like in 5 years I hit that time where I finally feel that way, but it's sort of a grind until then. Shoot for the stars, shoot for the stars. Like it's you. This comes back to the self-concept stuff. And I don't know how old you are, so I'm, whatever, but um, reprogramming your belief systems around worth. All right, Laura. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Jalen or Julia, your questions are up. And I think Jalen, I could just answer it. Julia, are you here? I think Jalen said just a general reading, but it'd be nice if she was. Oh no, Jenny, I'm gonna refund your donation because the list is closed right now. Because I have to set limits, otherwise I'm here forever, and I've been here almost, I don't know, I don't even know how long because I'm looking at PayPal now to refund you immediately. But please like and subscribe and hit the bell, and then you can come back next week because I'm here every single Sunday at 4 o'clock. um, I had to learn to set boundaries because really I could be here forever and ever and ever. Okay, so I'm gonna fund it and ask that you please kindly thank you for understanding and come back next Sunday. Okay. I appreciate it. No, it hasn't been posted in a little bit and it's okay. Oh, you're Julia. Lydia's Pony Journeys and Jules is cool. That's a lot. Thank you, Jenny. Please subscribe. Help a lady out. um okay, Lydia's Pony Journeys. And so what would you like to know, Julia? Do you have a question? Oh, my question was, oh, sorry. Darn. Am I on the right path in life? I'm hoping to get a message from my friend Jen. Okay, I'm gonna do the right path in life because I've been on here almost 2 hours and mediumship does take me a little bit longer. I hope that's okay. Don't apologize. No worries. I didn't see it. But I'm gonna do the right path in life, and then we're gonna okay, so I'll answer this like first I'm going to answer this in the way that I always answer for people but I feel like this is like a very general, and then I'm going to tell you what I got after it because so I don't want you to feel like oh, well, that's like um you are on the right path in your life. We are always on the right path in our life, even when we feel like we're not on the right path in our life and then feel like everything's falling apart and everything's terrible because everything falls apart and goes together and whatever, because we're always on the right path because we're always learning something. You can never go wrong. And I promise you, if you weren't on the right path, your guides will scoot you into the right direction. Like I had guides warning me about gentlemen like men I dated a lot. Yeah. Trust me, they will. And like when I wasn't listening to when you don't listen to the finer intuitive things, they will make it so insanely obvious you can't ignore it. Psychic or not, trust me on that. So that said, I feel like in 5 years, you're literally going to make like a 90-degree turn. So to me, that feels like example, and this isn't exact, but it's the best example I can give you. Like maybe I'm a nurse right now, and all of a sudden I'm making like a massive career change, like because it's like I can't handle it anymore. So I leave what I'm doing and I go into um, nursing, or sorry, I'm doing nursing. I leave what I'm going to, and I go into like being a teacher or what. Like it's like completely. It's not like I'm a school nurse. I just decide I can't no more. I'm done. And it just feels like a complete career change. And this happens in 5 years about. So don't be like, well, on October 17th, 2021, it's the 2026, and you said, and I'm not, it's approximate. The further you get out, the little more deviation you need. You were a vet nurse, but not working. Okay. So it feels like though in like 5 years, I make a complete, like maybe I don't go into being a vet nurse. I go into like something completely different. Maybe I build my own arts and crafts business, or I become an entrepreneur and I have my own business and I'm running my own thing. Or maybe it's still sort of along those lines of working with animals, but I'm running my own business and I'm a dog walker or I'm a pet sitter or whatever. or pet groomer, but it's like feels like it's different. I'm like not doing that anymore. Um, I mean, like I left nursing in 2010, in September of 2010, and I have not looked back since. So I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, kind of doing the psychic stuff on the side and like rebuilding, building my gifts and stuff like that. But like it's been a slow progression to get here where I feel like I have a business and I feel like, so it just feels like there's something that's going to come up and in 5 years, it's like I take off and I go what feels like a totally different direction, but it's not. It's your path. No, that's coming from your guides. Um, did Jen have like a short haircut, like a pixie haircut, or and I'm feeling lower back pain. And I'm not going to do a full reading for this because it's like that's then two questions, and also it's just really late, and I want to kind of get through these and close up. Um, if you join my mailing list on my website, you will get one email a week. And in that email, it gives you, I send them out usually on Saturdays, and you can start join the list earlier. So you're earlier in the list. And then you also find out, I send in writing, like all the things that I'm doing, all that, but one list a week. Okay. Okay. Ankur, I'm gonna after this, I'm gonna go do like dinner time and bedtime and all of that. But I will respond to you this evening and we'll set up a schedule, okay? Um, all right. Thank you for trusting me. But I just so you know, and you don't worry, like I will. But after I walk out of these, because I've been here for 2 hours, I sort of do family stuff and kind of take a break from business stuff for a minute. You're lying in bed with back pain now. Okay. Do you have the short pixie haircut? Or, just short, not necessarily. I don't know if that's called a pixie cut, but maybe it's just your picture, your energy. Oh gosh. She hated it. What did I? Oh wait, you do, and she hated it. Okay. So she's around you. All right. I'm gonna do Jalen's quick. I wish she would show up because it's just easier. You're very welcome. I try hard. Jalen, are you here? You're my last question for the night. Please like and subscribe. Support a girl. Help a woman. I think, what's weird is I don't know if anybody else had this, but it wasn't until I was like in my late 20s where I felt comfortable calling myself a woman. Weird, right? But whatever. I was busy saving people's lives. I had people's lives under my care, and I was like, oh, I'm still a girl. Jalen, I guess I'll do it. Oh, you're here. Good. Okay, let me do a quick general read for you. Or is there a specific question you have now that you've been listening and you're curious? And do you have an itchy nose? Okay. I don't know exactly what this means, but this is what I heard. So I don't know if it means you're physically alone or what they said. Jalen is alone, and she feels like she's like alone in the entire world. Like you feel very isolated and very, I don't know if it's isolated, like physically isolated, because I don't feel like you're like locked up in the dungeon. Um, but I just feel like kind of alone and lonely. And what's weird is they brought my attention to my toes, and I saw like, what almost reminds me of, indigenous, like some kind of part of it, like, I don't know if they're called jingle. jingles something, but they're like these things that go around your ankle and they're very decorative, but that's what it reminds me of. I don't know that's exactly it. I don't know what that means. And then I just feel something around my toes. I don't know what that means either. So I know you're really like my sense is like lots of skepticism, lots of like, do I just open your energy up and be open to this? But does the alone feeling feel make sense when I say that? So I don't know if it means I'm alone and I'm single or I really feel alone in the world and that like um feeling. And I also it's that feeling of feeling like nobody really knows me. Like so people think they know me, but they don't really know me. I'd have surgery on my Achilles. Okay. Uh, due to tethered spinal cord. Okay. That's probably what I'm picking up on because it's like it's weird, but did you decorate the braces or make them like kind of fancy or and do your toes get cold? Like unusually cold? And I feel like when you say like tethered spinal cord, it feels like it's pretty low. It doesn't feel like it's like they were lime green and drawn. Okay. That's why I'm like, why am I getting like this decorative, like feeling like it's really they to me, you don't have to hide who you are in order to fit in. Like, just like celebrate you and celebrate your uniqueness and who you are. Um, I don't feel like it's weird. I don't feel like you hide. Like, I don't feel like you're like, oh, let me pretend not to be. But it just feels like I don't feel confident enough to just be me and like be like, who gives a fuck? You're having circulation issues. Okay, that's why my toes would feel really, really cold. My scar is right where they put an epidural. In during childbirth, okay. Are you making sure you're drinking enough fluids, like you're getting enough, that you're not dehydrated? That sounds weird, but, um, I just keep getting this sense of feeling like alone, alone, alone. So, are you alone? Does this make sense when I say that? Just feeling very alone in the world? Self-care isn't really the top of the list, okay, so make sure you're drinking enough fluid. Self-care is important. It's like when you're on a plane, you have to put the oxygen on your own face first. It doesn't mean you're selfish. It doesn't mean it's just these are the things that we need to do. Um, and I think that's probably where the alone feeling comes from. You just sort of answered that in a way. Self-care isn't really um, and I think that's also the feeling where they're making me feel like just like stop trying to hide who you are and like your uniqueness and all of that because you have so much wonderful energy to offer, but you can't do that if you're not authentically being you, and part of being authentically being you is stating your needs and setting boundaries, and, you can't make anybody else, follow your boundaries or stay in line, but, you're the only one who needs to honor your boundaries. The boundaries that you're setting are really, really, truly for you. It's like, "Okay, I need to know what my limits are, and I'm not willing to let anybody's cross those limits. So, my limits are you can be mad at me, but you can't call me names. You can be angry with me, but you can't scream and yell at me." And so, like, some people, are gonna get mad. They might call me a name. These are past things because I don't I get to the point where I just cut people out if they can't Like, I used to feel like I was the guy or like, there was like all kinds of things. So like I didn't always honor those limits and I didn't understand what boundaries meant. I thought boundaries meant, like, well, I can't make them do this. Well, no, then you walk away. So it just feels like you need to really think about what your limits and your boundaries are. And sometimes it's like, look, I'm exhausted. I know I'm exhausted and I need a nap. And so you say to everybody around you, like, I need a nap. I can't do everything for everybody. And you ask for help. That's part of self-care. That's part of like standing in your power and owning your own confidence. And like, I even say to my kids now, like, when I need you to help out around the house because they're old enough, like my older two especially are old enough. And it's not because I'm a mean, crabby pants mom and I have to have everything perfect, but because having an organized and clean house makes me feel energetically better. It's energetically better for everybody. And, um, they actually have done studies and like having a messy house actually increases your anxiety and all that, or having disorganization and all of that. So, I talked to them about that because, kids, they just like throw stuff everywhere. And I talk to them in those terms now instead of being like just killing myself trying to ask for things. Like, look, here's why I'm asking for this. So it just feels like it's really important for you to understand and that it's okay for you to ask for help. It's okay for you to say no. No is not the worst thing you're gonna hear. My kid's like, "Ah, you're being a bully." I'm like, "No, I'm just saying no. Like, you can't do that right now." And I like you can't like my one daughter wanted me to pick her up by her feet. She's 4. And I was like, "I don't feel very strong right now. And I don't want to drop you on your head because you could break your neck." And that would be very sad for mommy. And it'd be sad for you. So like, um, and I always tell them I'm not saying no because I want to be mean. There's usually a very good reason, and it's okay to say no. And I feel like you don't say no enough. You don't tell people like I've got a lot on my plate. I can't do that right now. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you all for staying here for so very long. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your continued support. KK, thank you, thank you. Rockdown, thank you, thank you. I know I asked you to stop chatting back and forth, but it was really just out of love and all of that. It wasn't meant to be scoldy. So I hope you guys have a lovely Sunday. I will be live tomorrow talking about manifesting. I'm going to talk about tomorrow. The topics are kind of around how do you when you're seeing no and things aren't showing up the way you want them to show up in your 3D, how do you persist, how do you rewrite, and all of that good stuff. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.